Hey folks, it's the 1st of August, so we're in what's normally a rather dry time during our hot summers here in Kentucky. But this year we've had higher than normal rainfall, and it's made the garden very lush and thick, as hopefully you can see. In fact, I'm going to have to get out and trim some things back from the paths because it's gotten so difficult to walk through the landscape. I have mostly late spring and late summer fall bloomers. So here there's not normally much going on at this time, but this year is different. I simply wanted to show you what's going on right now, not just with flowers, but where we are in the vegetable garden as well. So let's go. Well, this is sneezeweed. As you can see on the label there, I've got some brambles that have kind of taken over this area, and I think my Springer Spaniel has been in the midst of this. So note to self for next year, put up a ring around this. And then we go through arbor here. This is the sneezeweed. It's another native. Both of these are natives. And it is in bloom. This is frostweed. Frostweed, when the first freeze comes in the late fall or winter here, the frostweed causes the ice to have or to make these beautiful patterns. So I hope to get some video or photos of that later on in the season. Here are some late producing raspberries. Not sure the variety, but they are delicious. Of course, here's an example of what I meant by lush and the paths being covered. You can see the path there through these perennial sunflowers. That's what these are. And the finches love them. They've just begun to bloom. Sounds like Pincy's found a rabbit. Here's another place where the new growth on the brambles has taken over about half of the path. And oh, well, there's a surprise. I didn't even know that was there. Gladiolas. Oh, should have caught it sooner. Isn't that pretty though? These are 2 Meyer lemon trees I received from a friend a few years ago, and I bring them in and out of the greenhouse every year, and they do okay in these pots. But a friend of mine who has a greenhouse actually has one of these and a lime planted inside the greenhouse. It's actually in the ground of the greenhouse, and so I'm going to give that a try this winter. See if I can get a lemon next year. Hey, it's always worth a try. Now here is a very unique native plant. Oh my goodness. That's a black walnut from this black walnut tree. And it evidently has landed on top of this bird feeder hanger just perfectly, so it has embedded itself or attached itself. The head of the bird has been embedded into the walnut. I couldn't do that in a million years if I tried. I wanted to make mention of this Boston fern. You can see I have some of these smaller ferns. They do okay, but this one's in a large pot, and it has loved this spot in the yard. It's under the black walnut, and I've been told things won't grow under black walnut, but this Boston fern sure does. This is part of the garden space that was tilled last year. Of course, it quickly grew in grass again. It had gotten very high, and I was able to knock it down yesterday, and I'm gonna let that settle in a little bit, and then we'll, hate to do it, but I'll have to spray it. It's just too much to deal with right now. Well, the tomatoes are coming along, but man, the peppers, I need to do some pickled peppers. I gotta have me one of these here. This is one of my favorite parts about having my own garden. Take it here. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Squash looks good. Maybe seeing just a touch of powdery mildew, but not much. I hate that I blew my grass clippings in here. Beans are starting to bloom. Be setting fruit soon. Looks like there's some kind of a rust on these. I don't know what that is. Interesting. There they go, up the cattle panel. Well, the okra took a hit or two from, I guess I'm assuming deer. I forgot and left the electric fence off for a couple of days. And there's another mistake to learn from. And then the cucumbers are doing well. In fact, I see one right in there. There's another. We got beans mixed in with the cucumbers over here. Then lima beans over here. On this side, excuse me. Really going well. And they've loved all the moisture. I love these cattle panels. Gardening on the cheap. This is a cool native. It's called Illinois bundle flower. And you can see the flowers are kind of a green, pale green beginning, and then they turn dark with the seed. But it's just a cool looking plant. It's very different. This bad boy hosta has been outstanding this year. But it does not like direct sun. Got a couple of big ones back there in the back too. For all the moisture, again, I hate to keep going on about the rain, but all the rain we've had has just made everything so lush, including the weeds. Oh, this Rose of Sharon, it will take over if you let it. More cannas back here. They have not bloomed yet, but looks like they're working on it. I love the color of this crepe myrtle. Now here is one of my challenges. This hydrangea was here when we purchased the property, and that's been a little over 4 years ago, and it has yet to bloom. It gets probably more, just 3 or 4 hours of sun, which may not be enough. I don't know. I'm working on that. I've either got to transplant it or do something different. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions, I'm open to it. Leave them in the comments section. Lots of new growth on this little dwarf cedar. Can't remember the exact variety. I'll have to look that up and put it in the notes at the bottom of the screen. Really nice. This dwarf crepe myrtle, just wow, I guess all the rain we've had, just beautiful. I've never seen it so pretty. Just something else going on in the jungle. Midsummer. I gotta say, these cannas are just strikingly beautiful this year. And the hummingbirds have been all over them. Well, I got down to my final editing and I realized I didn't have a closer. So here we go. And let me say this before we get out of here. You know, if you want to make changes or add things to your gardens or get started in a garden, now is the time to think about that. Because if you're going to break ground or anything like that, it's great to do it in the fall and put a thick layer of mulch on it and let it sit there for the winter. And let those microorganisms and things get started, you know, amending the soil immediately. And again, I think the wood chips are one of the best things you can put on there as far as just price-wise. I mean, if you can get them from your municipality, they're usually free. And they do a great job. They'll break down and build the soil, because that's what it's about. It's about building good soil. And that's what makes a successful garden. Also, this is the time of year. Soon we'll have bulbs out in the store shelves, and you'll want to plant those in the fall if you want spring, you know, early spring flowers, tulips and daffodils, crocus, things like that. But it's never too soon to start. Sketch something out on paper. You know, write things down. Just dream a little bit. Keep dreaming, because it's stuff like this. You know, it takes time, and use it wisely. So, now, this is Bill Thomas from the Honeysuckle Urban Jungle. Have a great day in the yard. See you next week.